Just another horrible situation happened at a Catholic church yesterday in Minneapolis. 2 kids, 1 8, 1 10, were killed. 17 injured. I think 2 of them are in critical condition, but all of those are expected to live and recover.
Thank God.
Which is, yes.
I will say, too, because this broke during the show yesterday, Pat and Jeffy and I were talking about it, and the way that it broke, they said it could be 20 injured, and you never know where those numbers break. Sometimes they get a lot higher after something like that, and it is somewhat amazing considering the circumstances that the numbers, while incredibly tragic and horrible, were this low.
Yeah,
I mean, it really is amazing. Frankly,
it is.
2 children dying is unending tragedy for the families, as we all know. But when you look at it from some of these previous shootings, you're almost surprised.
Yeah. He locked them in there, barricaded the doors, and then started shooting at them from the outside. Maybe that's why there was less death than you might expect in a shooting like that. But
because he came in through the window, shooting through the windows,
shot through the windows.
A big reason, seemingly, too, Pat, was pews. I mean, they are many people that were in there were saying the pews saved their lives. They were blocking bullets like crazy, and he was shooting them, and they were hitting the pews and not going through the pews, and that's why they're alive.
Wow,
which is incredible.
Yeah, it really is. And of course, this turns out to be a transgendered person, which we're not supposed to mention, I guess, or notice or talk about.
Well, that's because it's a woman. Pat, you see, when you say a transgender person, you seem to be indicating some male component to this situation, and we know
there's definitely a male component.
No, I don't think so, Pat. This is a woman. Her, she, saw a lot of hers and she's in the coverage.
Once you become a mass shooter, I don't care about your pronouns. I don't
really.
Yeah, I don't care at all.
Because I don't really care before the mass shooting.
I don't either,
but I also
really
don't
care after the mass shooting.
I was thinking about this, Pat, and I know we're still going through the details of this story. I don't mean to just sidetrack us 3 minutes into the show, but I was a little conflicted as to what I wanted out of the news coverage, because I got angry when I saw her and she. I did.
Yeah.
Don't respect this idiot, horrible person's nonsense.
Yes.
That they want to change genders after something like this. You might have a very nice person who's going through something and struggling with it, and they decide to change genders, and you might feel the need to indulge in that. I don't know. But when it's someone who's killed a couple kids and shot a bunch of people, I don't have that need. Though part of me then also thought, maybe this just needs to be owned by them. Maybe this needs to count as a woman shooting everyone. In the statistics, this is a female mass murderer, because we always is told it's all men who do this. No, not this time. It's a woman. A woman did this. Just like a woman won that swimming race, a woman did this. Let's all, if you're going to make us indulge in it on the other side, maybe we should fully embrace it here.
Yeah.
I don't know where to land on that. I think the appropriate thing is to say a transgendered person. That's really the only. It doesn't really matter if it's a man or a woman.
Because that infuriates the left.
Yes.
That infuriates them. They don't want us to mention it. They don't want to talk about it. They want to pretend it never happens. That these are all cisgendered. And yes, they're mostly cisgendered, because most males are cisgendered.
Yes.
There's 0.7% of the population that's trans, and there have been at least 5 mass shootings from trans people in the last 7 years.
I was going to say, I thought it was higher than that.
I think it is higher than that, but I could find at least 5 of them.
That's what at least means. It usually means there could be higher.
Yes.
That's actually what the term indicates. Thank you, Stu. Good job with the English.
But I'm glad you picked up on that.
Thank you.
I am.
Yes, I think it is.
I think
higher.
there's a problem there. Can we look at the mental stability of people in this situation? This was something that was considered a disorder until 2017 by the AMA. Is it something we should be looking at? I don't know. We should at least talk about it.
Well, Pat, it's obvious, right? It doesn't mean what it doesn't mean, and we can go into all the left people saying this. They're saying the trans community is responsible.
No, and we're not saying that. It's just like we're not saying all Muslims are terrorists.
Right. It's so stupid. It's so stupid. And it's hard to even indulge in the nonsense. Obviously, there's probably a trans person, depending on where you live, that you pass every day or every week. They're not all shooting people. We're not idiots. Every single person knows. It's like when 24 was on and Jack Bauer and terrorism.
Oh my gosh.
And then you're watching this and the show was so good. And then all of a sudden they just started having, by the way, before you watch this incredible episode of Jack Bauer kicking terrorist butts, you should know not every Muslim is a terrorist. We think you believe that, and we're trying to convince you otherwise.
So insulting.
It's so insulting and so stupid. It's pointless to indulge it. But just to mention it off the top, because we have to deal with the politicians saying it all day yesterday at some point on the show. But when you have difficulty understanding what reality is, you're probably more likely to do something completely insane. When everyone else's reality is watching children die is bad, and his reality was watching children die is good. His reality also was that he was a woman. And he actually was, and all of our realities, was a man. Now, we can sit here and act like we should indulge his lack of connection with reality, and we can encourage him and lionize him for his brave choice. But in reality, it's not true. And when you have a person who is under whatever condition this is, that indicates to him that reality is something completely on the opposite side, yes, of course you're more likely to do something crazy because you can't recognize what reality is. You're dealing with something so everybody else in our society can tell what gender they are, right? Transgender people have difficulty with that. Many of them, I'm sure, are very sweet. They've got nothing to do, no violent tendencies whatsoever. Of course. But that doesn't mean that you're not more likely to do something out of societal norms when you can't understand the most basic part of who you are.
And they certainly don't have any problem with mentioning that cisgender males usually commit these crimes.
Okay.
Well, yeah,
that's true.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yes, there are cisgendered males who have real issues.
Yeah.
And are completely insane.
That doesn't mean all cisgendered people murder people.
But you don't ever have to, you never hear them qualify it that way.
You never have to say that. In fact,
there's never a disclaimer on that.
The indication almost always is the opposite.
Right.
Gosh, it seems like they're all doing it. Gosh, everybody with a red hat seems to be doing this. What's going on? It's always that indication.
Yes.
And a very small, again, obviously, a very, very small percentage of transgender people will do something like this. But when you can't recognize reality, it is, of course, more likely that you're going to do something that violates everyone else's reality.
And there is a disproportionate number of them that have done this recently. It's disproportionate. I mean, it's higher than 0.7%. Tell you that.
And it's and what's going on here, and it seems like, Pat, this path is becoming more well worn. When you're having whatever sort of issue leads to you not understanding your gender, you're told if you go through this process, things are going to be so much better.
Yeah.
Everything's going to turn around. You're dealing with all sorts of internal turmoil, and doctors and in some cases parents and teachers are telling you, well, take these hormones and everything will turn around. And then you go through, you've done this with your back, Pat. How many times have doctors told you, well, if you do this, this, and this, it might get better? And then it's frustrating. Yeah. You go through the process and it doesn't get better. And you're like, gosh, you get more hopeless about the situation. And this is what happens with transgendered people in a lot of cases. Not all cases, but a lot of cases. You go through that process. You're told this is a panacea, and it doesn't take the problem away. So then you start looking for more and more reasons why your life sucks, why you hate everything, and you're fed stuff by the left that it's people who hate you because of your trans nature. It's because the president's a Nazi. It's because everyone is against you and wants to kill you, and religious people hate you, and blah, 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 all the time. And you get that all the time, and shockingly, some people develop the tendency to do this. I mean, it's like, oh, it's flour, it's sugar, it's eggs, it's a cake. It's not exactly crazy. It's not something it's not that shocking, Pat. I have to admit. I'm not entirely stunned by this development.
But you're not supposed to notice that.
No.
You're not supposed to say it. So here's the mayor. This guy is one of the most agonizing buffoons I've seen in a while. And I've seen a lot of agonizing buffoons.
I guarantee he will start getting buzzed for presidential nomination soon.
He will.
If you are the douchiest of douches, and you're on the left.
Somebody's going to pluck the Minneapolis mayor out and into a national campaign here.
It's why you know Jasmine Crockett's name.
Yeah.
It's why you know AOC's name. It's why you know Gavin Newsom's name. This is the road to success in the modern left.
For sure. And now you're going to know the name Jacob Fry. Here he is, cut 6.
I have heard about a whole lot of hate that's being directed at our trans community.
Oh, yeah. That's the number one thing we need to talk about.
What
Anybody who is using this as an opportunity to villainize our trans community or any other community out there has lost their sense of common humanity. We should not be operating out of a place of hate for anyone. We should be operating from a place of love for our kids. Kids died today. This needs to be about them. This needs to be wrapping our arms around
I'm curious.
Every bit of love that we can possibly show.
Does your brain not work? If you just let it with the trans community, why are you talking about the kids?
Right. Should have started with the kids.
Yeah, maybe that's all you should have said.
Right.
Maybe that's it. Did you happen to watch this? Were you around the TV when this occurred?
I was
Or did
not.
you just see the clip?
Yeah.
If you were there watching it when it occurred, what you saw was this thing that I'm sure you've seen all the clips of him with this just quite obviously insincere nonsense, right? He didn't. The last thing all was flashing in front of his eyes was his political career in this moment.
Oh yeah,
because you could tell he's nervous. He's kind of like butchering the typical stupid lines every leftist says in these moments. But you know, he's reading everybody. He's reading Jen Psaki tweets in front of a microphone. But immediately after that was the police officer who was giving the briefing. And he spoke emotionally about it. And the difference between these two was night and day. Yeah. He actually cared.
Yeah, he did.
He gave a crap. It was actually affecting him. He wasn't thinking about his political future. He actually was talking about something that mattered and actually felt it. And you could see the difference between the two individuals.
That's for sure.
Oh man, it was really jaw-dropping to watch.
In fact, this is a really quick clip here. Play cut 3 from the Minneapolis police chief. This shows that the guy he was deeply affected.
The question from Matt was, how are the injured students doing? I believe all of them have their parents with them now. And they are all expected to survive. All of the remaining victims are expected to survive. There is a range of injuries, however.
When he gets into what transpired, it's very clear that he was deeply moved by it.
Angry.
Deeply moved.
But moved by all of this, and it's the exact opposite. You could just tell. If this guy is not at least talked about as the VP candidate for Gavin Newsom, I'll be shocked because they're the same person. They're the same psychosis.
Yep.
The same absolute adoration for self. You could just
no question.
You could see it in everything he did yesterday. It was all about him.
Yep.
And what a disgraceful time to make it about you.
Yep. And try to further your political career. All right. 888-727-BECK. More coming up in 1 minute.
You know what's great is PragerU. And why should you support them? Well, how about this? You get free videos that teach common sense, history, economics, and values that matter. In just 5 minutes, you can learn more truth than most students hear in 4 years of college, and that's 100% true. PragerU's content is reaching millions of people every single day, from high school students to working parents to anyone who's been just tired of being fed lies and half-truths by the media and the universities. You can find many videos at PragerU today to explain a lot of the stuff that's happening over the past 24 hours. They make it easy to share with friends and family and your kids and the next generation because you want them to grow up understanding the principles that built America. With so much noise out there, PragerU is a voice of clarity. It's simple, it's accessible, and it's free. If you want to make an impact on the next generation, this month is the best time to support PragerU. Every single dollar you give will be matched in August. You only got a couple more days to do this. Glenn's Foundation, Mercury One, has already donated, so please join us. This is a fantastic organization. You probably know their videos, but for them to be free, obviously they need your help. PragerU.com, PragerU.com/Glenn. Donate today. Your gift will be matched dollar for dollar until the end of August. Give as much as you can. It's PragerU.com/Glenn. 10 seconds, station ID.
All right, so we got scolded on the trans issue, and then the obligatory gun BS had to start from Jacob Fry, who is the Minneapolis mayor. Here's what he had to say about guns.
Look, we need to be doing more than talking. It can't just be words. Mm-hmm. There needs to be action. And when we have seen school shooting after school shooting, when we have seen churches get shot up by horrible actors, I think the impetus has to be on all of us as leaders to do a whole lot more, to recognize that we've got more guns in this country than we have people. And it's on all of us to recognize the truth and the reality that we can't just say that this shouldn't happen again and then allow it to happen again and again beyond that.
Because the solution to this guy shooting a bunch of people is taking Pat's gun away.
Yeah, right.
That's in Texas. That's what it is. That's the solution right there. And just, it shows how stupid it was. The thing that really puts an exclamation point on how dumb that was is stupid Tim Walz in the background. Stupid Tim Walz, gets himself off the couch and lumbers down to the press conference to stand behind this guy. What a disgrace these people are. Oh, God.
There are very few people I dislike more
than Tim
Walz. I can't look at him. It's very hard to even see him appear on camera.
He's such a doofus.
Oh, man.
The fact I will remain fascinated by the moment of choosing this dolt for the rest of my life.
And thank goodness she did, because
thank God.
I think that hurt her a lot.
I do too. I mean, he was legitimately terrible.
What's his face in Pennsylvania would have been so much better.
Shapiro would have been better.
Shapiro would have been way better.
He's definitely a left. He's on the left, and he's a slick politician and all that. But he's at least not a complete.
He's
moron.
Ronald Reagan compared to Tim Walz.
Yes.
Come on. Agonizing.
Hey, we have our main candidate can't say anything intelligent. Let's double down. Let's bring in the dumbest person we can find on the planet and make him our VP choice.
We found the worst possible running mate on the planet.
Thank God. Thank God.
I know.
Thank God.
I know.
This is Glenn Beck.
Well, everyone loves the idea of a good night's sleep, but most people don't actually experience it. They toss and they turn and they fight, with the heavy sheets, and they wake up sweaty or freezing. And it's because most bedding is designed to be cheap, not comfortable. Cozy Earth completely reinvented that experience with bedding made to actually improve your sleep. Ultra soft, breathable, and temperature regulating. It adapts to your body throughout the night. The difference isn't just how you feel when you climb into bed, which, by the way, with Cozy Earth is awesome. It's also how you feel when you wake up, refreshed, restored, and ready to live the day. People who switch to Cozy Earth realize that sleep isn't a luxury. It's a foundation for everything else in your life. You can push through a lot of things in your day, but bad sleep isn't one of them. Cozy Earth isn't just sheets and comforters. It's a new way of giving yourself the rest you deserve. Go to CozyEarth.com. Use the code BECK for up to 40% off the softest bedding, bathware, and other apparel. It's CozyEarth.com. The promo code is BECK. Cozy Earth, built for real life and made to keep up with yours. I love my Cozy Earth sheets. I think you're going to love yours as well. It's CozyEarth.com.
Check out my show, Pat Ray Unleashed, every weekday from 7 to 9 Eastern, live, or anytime and anywhere you get your podcasts. Pat and Stu for Glenn today, 888-727-BECK. We got to show you the tweet from Jen Psaki. Oh, my gosh.
You're going to set me off on this one.
This is incredible. There it is. Yeah, Jen Psaki. Prayer is not freaking enough. Prayers does not end school shootings. Prayers do not make parents feel safe sending their kids to school. Prayer does not bring these kids back. Enough with the thoughts and prayers. Did anybody say thoughts and prayers are the only thing we should be doing? I don't know that anybody says that.
Well, Pat, it might not be religious enough to know this, but Pat, prayer is like a vending machine. What you do is you say it in everything. Like if you say you want $14.11 to appear in your pocket, you pray for that, and it just occurs. That's how prayer works. Really? Yeah, people don't realize that. I'm surprised.
I didn't realize that.
That's how it's supposed to work.
A praying person enough to understand that.
Well, apparently not. It's a fascinating tweet. And can I bring up two different things here on this?
I wish you would. Mm-hmm.
Three. First of all,
okay.
Hey guys, we just lost an election. No one in the middle of the country wanted to vote for us. What should we do? I don't know. Quadruple down on hating prayers.
Yeah.
It's so, politically speaking, so stupid.
They
all think it's so smart. They think this is the best point in the world because they all say it all the time. And they think it's this incredible moment. It's like they came up with this incredible intellectual brainstorm where they've come up with this idea that what we should do, guys, is just mock prayers. We can solve all of these issues if we just mock people's most closely held beliefs.
And it's only... it's so brilliant because only 80% of us are people of faith.
Right. So just go right after that.
Yeah.
Just politically speaking, so dumb, but that's, of course, the least important of this. The phrase, prayer is not freaking enough. Now, she did add the freaking out of the normal, typical, has been said by 9 zillion liberals, and she's supposed to be this brilliant leader of the left. Prayer is not freaking enough. Reveal something, okay? Now, if you happen to be a Christian, if you happen to be someone who believes in God, you've probably been to church before, and what they've explained on multiple occasions is likely something to the effect of God is enough, okay? Prayer is enough. It actually is the most important thing you can do, right? It's crucial, and it always is enough. It's all you need. It's stated in a bunch of different ways throughout the Bible and throughout the faith. But I can understand, as someone who recognizes not everyone shares our faith, that if you are a person who is not a believer, that statement might connect with you, right? If you are an atheist, saying something like prayer is not enough might connect with you because you might say, yeah, we need... And let's say, for example, you happen to worship government as your God. That's a really that sentence probably connects deeply with you. These people with their fake gods, their fake religion, their fake, sky god and boomstick. Those people are silly and pathetic, and our religion of praising bureaucrats in Washington are the only ones who can solve problems like this. Like that probably, understandably, connects with you. So it reveals something about Jen. I mean, I don't know what her situation is, but
I don't either, but she must be.
I assume she's an atheist from that. It's certainly not someone who's connecting with the basic tenets of her faith if she's not, right? Mm-hmm. Maybe she just, maybe, I don't know. We'll see. It should be more important to me than it is, I suppose, is the answer, because I really don't freaking care about her at all. But like, it does reveal something about what your position is on faith. You don't believe the tenets of it, right?
Yeah.
Okay. But that's okay. There's a lot of people who are atheists and might not. Mm-hmm. The other thing, though, that she ends it with is also reveals something, but something completely different. And something much more offensive to the American standard. We've always had atheists in our country, and we've always respected their rights to be atheists and not believe. But she ends it with, enough with the thoughts and prayers. The first part of it is, I don't believe prayers will solve this. The second part is, I don't want you praying. I don't want to hear about your prayers. I dislike the fact that you think prayers are important. I don't want you, religious person, here. I don't want you as part of this conversation. I hate you and everything you believe in. That's what that reveals. It's something totally different and much, much more awful. And of course, it's what Democrats actually like about it. That's where so many of them are. Centrally focused in just eliminating you and your beliefs. That's what they seem to actually want. And normally, someone like Jen Psaki, who is a trained media expert,
and a person, this is so surprising.
A person who whose job was to lie to us to make people of faith believe,
and she did that well.
Yeah, she did that well in comparison to what's her face.
Yes.
I wouldn't say well, but well in comparison to the person she specifically chose to make her look good upon her exit. What was her? What's her name? I want to say Jean-Claude Van Damme, but it's not her, right? Thank you, Corinne Jean-Pierre. It wasn't Jean-Claude Van Damme, though I think he would have been better.
By far.
Don't you think?
By far, yes.
It would have been more entertaining.
Yes. He barely speaks English. He would have been better.
Right. The end of that phrase shows her visceral hatred for you, which, of course, is something she did everything she could while in the White House to hide. Her job was to hide how they felt about you when she's in the White House. Now she's on MSNBC, and her new job is to tell everyone how she actually feels. And that, by the way, is how she actually feels. That is who she is. It's been revealed.
She made that really clear.
Really clear. She hates you. And you know what? She's getting cheered on for it. Why? Because so many of the people that she associates with
feel the same way.
Feel the exact same way. They just don't normally blurt it out like that.
And you know what? That's why they lost the election. That's one of the many reasons that the Democrats and the left lost the election last time. We're tired of this kind of stuff.
Yep.
It's
true.
They don't know who they're dealing with. I don't know if they think that the American people are a bunch of atheists who don't pray, but that's what they're acting like. That's what they're acting like. They just think that they are the standard in America now.
Yeah.
And nothing could be further from the truth. I mean, we're probably not as faithful as we once were as a nation, but we're still, it's still 80% of us are Christians. And that's a pretty high percentage. 80% of people don't agree on much. And so if you're willing to just dismiss 80% of Americans, you're not going to win elections, and you're not going to gain viewers.
No. And look, I hope they continue to do things that make them lose elections. I don't know what what kind of position our country would be in if they were winning more of them.
Oh my gosh.
But what's fascinating about this, and it's a really difficult problem for Democrats to solve, is and look, I will say this. We also have an issue with this at times on our side. And the problem is the incentives are so lined up. Every single part of Jen Psaki's life right now indicates to her she should do more of that. More money, more viewers, more attention, more interviews on Colbert, more clicks, more likes, all of that. If you say stuff like that, oh, you religious trash, get out of our lives, you're going to get more attention, more adoration, and more of everything you want. Now, when she was in the White House, her incentive structure was a little bit different, right? Like her incentive structure was to try to win elections. Yeah. And try to shield us from knowing that the president of the United States had no mental capacity. Those are different goals. Her goal now is to make Jen Psaki's life better. And it's not to win elections. Jasmine Crockett does the crap she does, not to win elections, because Jasmine Crockett wants more in the life of Jasmine Crockett. Right? Like, and we have some of this on our side as well, but it is really, really egregious on the left right now. And I don't know how they solve it. I
hope they don't.
Look at Gavin Newsom. Did Gavin Newsom get adoration for interviewing Charlie Kirk? No. They hated him for it.
Yeah. And then, he dropped that quickly.
He dropped it in 2 weeks, and now he's Mr. Anti-Trump guy. He's totally on the other side. He's a completely different human being. And what's happening now? Adoration, money, clicks, likes, poll numbers going up in the primary. Not, that doesn't mean he's going to win an election. It means he's going to win a nomination, potentially. And all of these incentives point the exact same way, which means you're going to get more of this idiocy. And it's not going to be fun for us, but it should, with any level of competence on our side, make elections a hell of a lot easier.
I hope so.
Should.
Hope so.
God only knows.
Yeah.
But it should.
Mayor Jacob Frey also mocked prayers. They seem to be pretty married to this tactic. And here he is, cut 10.
My friend ran, someone helped him run out. He saw him. He was wearing.
I don't think that's Mayor Jacob Frey, but
he sounds very young.
Yeah,
frankly,
very, very young.
Yeah, see, that's that's just not. That's definitely not the clip, Pat.
No.
Do we have the Frey clip here? Here
These were Minneapolis families. These were American families.
Oh, the fake
and the amount of pain that they are suffering right now is extraordinary.
And let me do this again in front of the mirror so I can get it right.
Don't just say this is about thoughts and prayers right now. These kids were literally praying. It was the first week of school.
They
were in church.
That is
what he's saying. He wants you to know faith doesn't work.
That's their big thing right now.
Good. Keep going down this road.
I have seen that 10 times in the last 24 hours. These kids were literally praying.
And that's their big statement.
So it doesn't work, people.
So it doesn't work. It's proven. Not a factor. Not a factor.
Believable.
Look, you can believe that all you want. That doesn't make it true, number one. But it also is it's just a fascinating position to take in a country such as this.
It is. Yeah.
It is all right. Okay. Okay, if that's what you want. You got all your leadership with their Protect Trans Kids t-shirts on and telling us that prayers don't work. Wow, they've learned their lesson.
Haven't they, though?
I mean, they really have studied this. I remember they had that big, remember they put $100,000 or $300,000 into some study where they were going to figure out why we lost. Well, they've solved it. I guess they were too positive on prayer and weren't protecting trans kids enough.
Yeah,
I guess that was the solution.
This will be helpful in 26 and 28.
I'm sure it will be.
More coming up.
Oh, wow. What a day. All right, it's hard to believe, but more than half of the beef sold in this country isn't even from this country. The labels can be misleading. The packaging can have their American flags all over it. But much of that meat was raised and processed overseas. For generations, American ranchers built this country with honest work, but now they're struggling to compete against cheaper imports. And good ranchers decided to just do something about it. They partner directly with American farms and ranchers to provide meat that is 100% born, raised, and harvested right here in the United States. When you order from good ranchers, you're not just putting high-quality meat on the table, you're supporting families who do things the right way. Every single box stands for transparency and quality and for the people who make this country strong. Dinner becomes an investment in America herself. Visit goodranchers.com. See what all the excitement's about. I think you're going to love it. The shop, that American meat that you can trust, is right there for you. If you use the code BECK, you'll get $40 off plus meat for life. That's code BECK for $40 off plus free meat for life when you start a new subscription today. Goodranchers.com. Goodranchers.com. Welcome to the table.
Well, I guess we'll give you a minute to let all that sink in. More Glenn Beck coming up.
You know, you don't get a letter in the mail. There's no knock at the door. And nobody's spray painting your garage or changing your locks, because when someone steals your home title, they don't want you to notice, at least not at first. They forge your name, they take out massive loans against your home, and then they vanish. And by the time the bills and the threats start rolling in, it's already happened. Your name is still on the house, sure, but now so is somebody else's debt. This isn't rare. This is one of the fastest growing cybercrimes in the country, and most homeowners have never even heard of it. Your title is stored digitally online where hackers can reach it, and once they do, you're stuck proving it wasn't you. The banks won't help. The insurance companies don't cover it. Home Title Lock is one of the only things standing between you and this nightmare, and they monitor your title 24/7. They alert you the moment anything suspicious happens, and if a thief ever does break through, they've got a full team of experts right there ready to fix it. This isn't some futuristic crime wave. It's happening right now to people, quietly, invisibly, to people just like you. Home Title Lock helps make sure you're not the next victim. AI is a big part of this, and AI is changing the world, but don't let it change the name on your home's title. Go to HomeTitleLock.com and use the promo code BLAZE. It's HomeTitleLock.com. The promo code is BLAZE. This is your biggest investment, and it's your financial legacy. Don't let it go down the drain. It's HomeTitleLock.com. The promo code is BLAZE.
It's Pat and Stu for Glenn today. 888-727-BECK. We started to play the 10-year-old eyewitness. So let's go ahead and see the 10-year-old eyewitness that was apparently there.
My friend ran, someone helped him run out. He saw him. He was wearing all black and he had a ski mask on. I was down, so I didn't really look up. He shot through the stained glass windows, so they're probably ruined. And then my friend Victor, he was laying on top of me, making sure I was safe, and he got hit. So that was really brave of him.
And you have a nick on your neck?
Yeah, that was, I don't even know what it's from. Kind of looks like debris or something.
Wow.
God. So hard.
His friend laid on top of him to protect him.
Yeah.
And got shot. Oh, wow.
Look, a lot of people go through a lot of difficult times. This guy, the murderer here, which, by the way, we will not say his name under any circumstances. But, in one of his desires was notoriety. So we will not give it to him. But a lot of people go through a lot of things. If you're one of those people going through one of those things, the same thing with this NFL guy. Why if he's got CTE and he went and goes and shoots a bunch of people? I don't care what your stupid problems are. I don't, if you, sorry you have them. I'm sorry you can't figure out what gender you are. I'm sure that's really, honestly, I'm sure that's a really difficult thing to deal with. If you're dealing with that, I can't even imagine how difficult that must be. Don't take it out on other people. There's no reason for it. It's so frustrating to see this and what you saw in his writings, Pat. They're like, the media is they're on a hunt. They're Indiana Jones today, Pat, trying to figure out what this motive is. They are archaeologists digging in the dirt to try to understand what the motive could be. What could it be? I don't know from all of his writings where he explains it explicitly, but what could it be? We'll get into that here coming up in just a couple of moments. It's 888-727-BECK. Pat and Stu in for Glenn.
This is Glenn Beck.